Okay, says we're live. So hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me get up my picture poll so that I can show you all that as reference. Today we have the writing chairs. Which writing chair would you choose? The wicker lounger on the left, or the rocking chair, or some version of a rocking chair? Because these are not the ones that I was mentally envisioning, but I couldn't find a photo of the one that I was mentally envisioning. But so rocking chair or wicker lounger, which would you choose? That is your picture poll for today. But hello, how are we? Has anything changed since yesterday? If I saw you yesterday, I finished the section that I was working on yesterday for writing, and so I'm now on to a different section. Completed the fast-paced action situation that was going on. There we go. So I finished that. So now well, I don't know. This next section is also kind of relatively action heavy, so we'll see how it goes. I also still have to finish setting up my week in my bullet journal. I did not finish that yesterday. I just sort of like put my stamps there as a segmentation. So I still have to finish doing that. But so those are the only two things I need to do today is finish setting up the bujo and continue working on this next section in the story. But yeah, how about you? So this week I have finished the quote unquote April words, which I still haven't updated Nano. I should probably do that. But I have finished the average of 2K per day for the whole month already. So I probably ought to go do some editing and sort of pare down some of my speedy brain download. But yeah. So anyway, how about you? What are you planning to do either today or this week? I am contemplating switching over to editing. I'm also contemplating Dust Bunny idea. Not just Plot Bunny. There we go. Potentially starting another story in like the last week of April. It would be a zero draft as well. So, so that's kind of what I am contemplating. Anyway, how are you doing? Monique says, ideally, I would like the wicker chair on the porch. Rocking chairs are great for relaxing, but not as much for writing for you. Gotcha. Okay. Elizabeth says, hello and good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome. Cool Gamer is here. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Diamond says, hey, everybody. You're working on your part 2 of the texting story that you're narrating for your fantasy today. Gotcha. Nice. Elizabeth says the wicker chair looks so comfy. It does. It does. It definitely looks comfy. And I was contemplating, doing this wicker chair or like one of those, not papazzans, but kind of like egg chairs, I guess they call them. But they're made out of like wicker and cane. So, but I liked this one. So, Francis says, hello, welcome. I hope you get what you need done today. By the way, your hair grew fast since the last time I see it. I usually have it up because I usually can't stand it when it's down because I play with it too much. It is currently, because I trimmed it recently, it's currently like past the clavicle. But it grows fast to a certain length. and then it starts thinning out. And the longest I've ever gotten it is really down to the small of my back. And then like it just, the damage from everyday wear and tear tends to stop it there, because I admittedly am very lazy and I'm not going to do a great deal to to grow it past that. I mean, sure, I would love to be Rapunzel, you know, have floor length hair at some point, but ideally, like, that's an ideal that I at one point would love to like just see myself in. But I also am very realistic and know that, like, you know, I'm not very gentle with my hair, I should say. You know, braid it, stick it up in a ponytail, stick it up in a messy bun, sleep in it wet occasionally, probably more often than I should, for sure, that kind of thing. So, meh. It's realistically never going to get to the Rapunzel length. It might get down to the small of my back again, but it's also, I discovered when it was getting close to like mid back, the last time it was that length, I rolled over in bed when it was down, because I usually sleep with my hair down, which I know to some people is a huge no-no. But I rolled over and caught hair under my elbow as I was like levering myself, rolling over. And that woke me up out of a pretty, that like really woke me up. And so shortly after that, I started trimming my hair again. I was like, it's too long. So I know that I would probably be very, very irritated if my hair got much longer now. It didn't used to bother me, but now I guess I've just gotten impatient. But yeah, I do like it when my hair is longer so that I can braid it if I want to. But yeah, I usually don't do a whole lot other than down very temporarily. Ponytails, buns, braids. That's it. And by braids, I mean 1 to 2 braids. I've done, you know, I can do French braid on myself. I can do regular braids on myself. I can do herringbone braid on myself, as long as it's just the past the nape. I cannot do herringbone from up here, from up the crown, but cannot do a Dutch braid. My brain and fingers have not figured that out. So let's see. Stacy says the rocking chair because you like to sit cross-legged and the arms look sturdy enough to support a lap desk. True. True, true. Megan says, hello. Hello. Trying to come up with something to write about. You've been very distracted lately, so hopefully you can focus. Hopefully Megan can focus. Stacy says, I am working on organizing some genealogy for yourself or for your church. Jen says, hello. Hello. Welcome. The goal for this stream is to finish editing chapter 9. You're rearranging some scenes. You're also wearing elf ears today. Nice. Nice, nice. Still nice, but in terms of the hair, but yeah, you get it. Yeah. Have I seen Abigail, the horror movie? Nope, I have not. You're going to watch it eventually, but not right now. Yeah. I, in general, usually don't do horror movies. I occasionally will. But generally I do not. That's not my go-to genre. I do not do well with jump scares and a lot of, or gore, I suppose. A lot of horror is one of the two or both combined. So yeah. Cool Gamer says hi. Hello. Eliza Bell says hello. Hello. Welcome. Jen wants to know if Abigail is an A24 film. I don't know. What is that a company? Yes. Okay. Abigail. Let's see. Distributed by Universal Pictures. Does that answer that? I don't know. See, Abigail might be kind of interesting to me because it is a Dracula story. Like Dracula is one of the stories that I would count as like horror that I would kind of like, I'm okay with. Because again, it's like folklore, fairy tales. It's fascinating to me. But I probably will not go see it in theaters. I have not gone to see things in theaters for a very long time. I usually just wait till it's out. And I can either see it by streaming or I can see it for cheap. So, they make some really crazy movies very often. Gotcha. Becca says, hello. Hello. Welcome. How are you? Jen says, hi, Becca. You're the same way. No movie theater. Yeah. I mean, some of the movie theaters I've been to more recently have been better in some regards. I think they've started switching over to like larger seats, comfier seats. They still have not fixed usually I leave the cinema with like a headache because the sound is just so loud. I know that it's supposed to simulate like you being in the film and sort of surround film and all that kind of stuff, or surround sound and all that. But I usually leave the theater with a headache because of the sound or because of like holding your neck at a certain angle and trying to see the whole screen. But yeah, so I generally wait till things are out on DVD or streaming. But I just like yeah. Anyway, Lesbelle says, I only watch 70s, 80s, and older horror films because the newer horror films are usually bad to you. Yeah. Yeah. Agreed with Jenna. It costs a fortune to go to the theaters now. Yeah. Agreed. I hung on to my university ID for like a really long time. Because yeah. But eventually I probably could have hung on to it for longer if I didn't have like I only replaced my student ID once because it snapped. And so I think that was my sophomore year of college. And so I had the same ID from sophomore through senior year. And it was real beat up by the time that I graduated, like real beat up. So I really only got, I think, maybe 2 years out of 2 extra years of student tickets, which was, it was fine. Like I usually went to the matinee anyway, so I would have gotten the same price. Anyway, Jen says it'll be on some streaming channels before too long, right? Yes, yeah. Elizabeth is also not big on jump scares. It's not scary. It's just startling, right? Yeah. And I think it provokes that like fight or flight response. I think fight, flight, freeze. And yeah, it's just, I am definitely, if I was in a horror movie, I would be one of the first to die because I tend to freeze. It's just I have no good sense of fight or flight. And so for that reason, I would also probably be the one to go, what's that noise? Poke my head out the door. Because again, like no survival instincts here. Diamond says, it's good to hear, Jen. Can't wait to see it. Jen also agrees with Eliza on the 70s and 80s older. Becca says, I have a projector and a 120-inch screen at home, so I don't go to theaters as much either. And you can pause it and go to the bathroom, which is very important. Very important. Jen says, I do love movie popcorn, though. Can you... I'm just thinking, surely there's a way to reheat butter and salt and like do it in a pump. Surely there's a way to do that, because you can make popcorn at home and then just like, I don't know, that'd be kind of a pain to clean though once it re-solidified. Anyway. Godzilla and Kong, would I see that? If it was super cheap. I mean, so my friends and I will probably see at some point, because I know we've seen pretty much all the Godzilla movies, because we like to make fun of it. We like to turn it into a drinking game. Drink responsibly. So we had this tells you how nerdy and silly we were in freshman year when we were all in the girls' dorm. There were a whole bunch of us that decided we wanted to watch the Gundam series. And since we were not legal yet, we bought like a ton of 2 liters of soda. Specifically like ginger ale and, you know, that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we simulated a drinking game, but it was just really like, you know, have a sip of soda. Every time somebody like died, and then we would take bets on whether or not we thought that person really died. And so we eventually stopped because of all of us just kind of we kept running to the bathroom. We just drank too much soda. So it's that kind of situation in terms of like, you know, every time something silly happens in a Godzilla movie, we would take a sip. It's same thing. So anyway, Becca says, I'm good at hiding. Oh, okay. You would hide and hope for the best in terms of horror life situation. Yeah. Horror movie situation. Yeah. Horror movies with jump scares annoy me more than anything. I don't think I have ever seen a horror movie that does not have a jump scare, which is why I generally don't enjoy horror. I think I don't know if this is because I watched Alien when I was very young. When I say very young, how old would I have been? I would have been at least 8. Somewhere in like the 8 to maybe 12 range. I don't remember what year it was. Or how old I was. But yeah, we watched Alien as my dad was like, it's a sci-fi movie. And so like that one, the music kind of gives you a clue that something is happening, but it also the music is part of the jump scare. And so the scene where the alien bursts out of the person's body, like I was done after that. I was so done. Alien or Aliens? Where the critter bores its way out of the guy's chest, whichever one that is. I think it's the one with Sigourney Weaver. Is that right? I think yes, Sigourney Weaver, the 1979 Alien. Yeah, that's the one I watched. Okay, so the first one. Yeah. First one. But yeah, Megan suggests you can always buy popcorn at the movie theater and then take it home. It's like some expensive popcorn though, but movie theaters do allow it. I get movie popcorn without going to a movie, but it's so unhealthy. Used to work in a movie theater, so you know. Yes, good to know that they do not object to you taking home popcorn that you paid for. Good to hear that. Yes. Korean and Japanese horror movies usually don't have that many jump scares. Ooh, okay, so I might have to find some recommendations for that then, to see if I can give that that kind of horror a shot. Sounds like the first one. First dog says confirms the first one. Yes. Okay, so Alien with an S is the sequel. Gotcha. Diamond says it's true that Korean and Japanese horrors usually do not have jump scares. I know I've seen The Ring, and I don't remember if there's any jump scares in there, because you kind of see her coming like the whole time. You love Japanese and Korean horror films. I'll have to try some to see if I can deal with them better than like Western horrors. So Stacey says, I just don't like horror in movies or books. I see that. I also grew up on Goosebumps. So like there's a part of me that likes it, but there's a part of me that doesn't. I deal with it much better in written form than I do in visual. That's for sure. Becca says, I grew up with Aliens. I hated horror, but for some reason you loved Aliens. You watched it on repeat on HBO in the 80s. But that's the sequel. You did love the first one as well, but not as much. Gotcha. I can't remember if I've seen the sequel or not. I probably have, but I don't know. Is that the one where she like defeats the queen? Is that the second one, or is that a newer one? And by queen, I feel like there was a mother alien and there was like a whole bunch of eggs. I feel like that's the second one. Which, like, to be fair, both of these movies, like Sigourney Weaver is like so badass. And so for that reason, there's a lot to love about it. but yeah. Anyway. Jen says, I love Asian horror movies so much. Okay, I will have to give some a try. So if you have some recommendations for Asian horror movies specifically, let me know and I'll write those down as recommendations so I can find those and see if I can deal with Asian horror as opposed to Western horror. Diamond says, I love Goosebumps. I had it as a kid as well. It was one of your favorites. Yes. Yeah. I think I have a video about this, I think, that I started my writing because of Goosebumps. Because I was so fascinated by the werewolf of Fever Swamp. That was what started me. Sort of like physically writing down my own stories. So, I don't know where in the chat. Oh no. Okay. Your husband's favorite movie as well, along with The Thing. Okay, Aliens. I might also like giallo or Italian horror. Okay, I might see if there are some. If you have any recommendations, let me know. So yes, the one with the queen and the eggs is the second one. Goosebumps all the way. Yes. The Mother Alien was the sequel in 1986. Those were seven years apart. Wow. So 79 and 86. I think that's why I loved it so much. The Terminator and Aliens were the first time you saw badass women. Yeah. Stacy said, I've read some Fear Street, but you were not a big fan. I don't know. I think I read some Fear Street, but I preferred the Goosebumps regular stuff. I mean, if you can call Goosebumps regular. Diamond says, I also love thriller mystery movies as well. You do prefer historical dramas and crime TV shows and movies. There are, in terms of like crime shows, for me to really enjoy it, there has to be at least one or two, preferably two or more, really quirky characters, like really quirky. So for NCIS, you had Abby and you had Ducky. So Abby was the goth girl, and Ducky was the doctor who, the old doctor who's just, I really, for whatever reason, I really loved his character as well as Abby's. And then for NCIS LA, you know, I could, you know, take or leave the main characters, but Hetty, yeah, she was my jam. So I don't know, quirky recurring characters for crime shows are, I'm like, yes. I also really loved the premise behind the Mentalist and Psych. So there's like something like really odd and quirky about it. I really love, like when it's something like just kind of off kilter about it. Megan, you got to see the lady who plays Abby at the LA Times Festival of Books. She wrote a cookbook. I hope you got the cookbook and I hope you got it signed. And, she's so cool. Numbers was so good. Yes. Numbers was also one that had a quirk in terms of like the characters and the premise. It was just sort of like slightly off kilter, not what you would kind of expect from a traditional crime show in some ways. I mean, yes, they solve crimes, but like, oh no, you didn't get it. Oh no. But yeah, so in terms of crime shows, I have to have something like weird and kooky about it, or like the premise was somehow like twisted or off kilter. Let's see. There are aspects of like the various Sherlock Holmes version, like TV stories and whatnot, because they kind of make fun of themselves, or like break the fourth wall in some ways. Oh yeah, House is absolutely wonderful in certain ways because House is such a kooky character, but it is extremely formulaic because you know that whatever they think it is in the first like 30 minutes is absolutely not it, and it's going to be like the weirdest thing possible by the end of the show. You know, things that doctors have not seen in like 80 years. You know, just like kind of off the wall things of like randomly, oh, did you go to like, I don't know, Zimbabwe? So like out of nowhere, because you've got this thing that only you can only catch it in Zimbabwe because it's from an endangered animal or something. Like really, really off the wall stuff. But yeah. I have no idea where. Okay. Becca also loves The Thing. You saw it in theater last year, you think. Nice. Monique is watching The Librarians right now. How is it? I've heard some about it, but I've heard sort of like different things about it. So let me know how you find it. Rachel says, hello. Hello. Welcome. Jen says it's like the 100th anniversary or something of The Thing. Has it really? It came out in 1890 came out in 1982. I was like, "Wait a second." But then there's also the 1951 The Thing. So were you watching the original 1951 version? Confused? There's a whole story behind why it took so long. It took it's too long to type here, but it was a good. Oh, okay. So the two alien versions. So there's a story about the gap. Okay. Jen says hi to Rachel. Rachel says hi to Jen. Your pics from your trip were great. Yes. Yes. Make sure y'all check out Rachel's Instagram. Thog says, I absolutely love Alien and Aliens. Some of your favorite movies. And yes, The Thing. John Carpenter forever. Sorry, my brain is trying to make a connection between Edgar Rice Burroughs' character John Carter, not Carpenter. Carter. I was like, wait a second, something's not right. You read all you could get your hands on in terms of the Goosebumps. There were only two that really scared you in terms of the Goosebump books. Yeah, they were often on the paperback rack at the library, and so you just kind of took whatever was randomly there, and paperback honor system and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay, so Deep Red. Okay, so these are recommendations for Asian horror. Okay, I'm gonna write this down when we sprint because yes, we need to sprint soon. Agree with you on all those shows. You had also had Criminal Minds when you were young, and Numbers. Megan loved NCIS. You got this was yes. Okay. You loved Psych. You loved when Psych would make fun of The Mentalist since it was kind of a direct ripoff, but it was still a good show. Yes, it was. Rachel says, we had so much calm and relaxing fun this week, and you're very happy with it. Yay! Fringe. I don't think I've seen Fringe. But Jen says, I need that in terms of the relaxing trip. We have a family trip to the coast coming up that's not always calm and relaxing. Oh, no. House is the reason so many people don't believe lupus is real. What? I enjoyed the acting, but the medical info was really bad. It's always disturbing to me when people do not understand what fiction is. I will leave it at that. Rachel says, I only watched a couple of episodes of Numbers, but I bet it was good. I loved House and CSI. Is the medical info ever good in a show? Right? If it was, then it probably would not be very entertaining. If you're looking for quirky, almost cringy, check out Resident Alien. Okay. Has anybody seen Res Dogs? Because that's one I've heard good things about, but I haven't seen it, and I kind of want to see it. So if anybody has seen Res Dogs, let me know. Megan says, true. Have you seen Harrow? I have not. Lupus is tough. I've seen some people really work that angle in the past to the extreme. I think it makes them doubt others. You liked The Librarians when you were watching it. Gotcha. You actually wound up watching Criminal Minds and Dr. G Forensics this past week on the ladies' trip, if that tells you anything about your friend group. It doesn't, because there's usually sort of like two camps. You're either like Sex in the City and Friends, rewatching all the time, or you're like Criminal Minds, CSI, and CIS. There's like a very, anyway, so, okay, gotcha. I was like, wait a second. Yes. Have you watched Veronica Mars? I've not. Megan loved Veronica Mars. The latest season broke your heart, though. Oh no. Castle is another good one. Anything with Nathan tends to be fun. So, but that's just because he's a really weird, quirky guy, and he chooses really weird, quirky scripts for himself. Diamond says, "Don't forget Bones." Yes, yes, yes. John Carpenter is the best. I found this great iron-on image for your cry cut for a They Live t-shirt. Ooh, fun. You met the guy who played one of the scientists on Bones at LA Times Festival of Books as well. Fun. That seems to be where you meet most people. Gotcha. Okay, so that's the Italian horror recommendations that you put in earlier. Okay, thank you. I will make a note of that. Fringe was outstanding, according to Thog. Oh, because it's never lupus. Gotcha. So it sort of dismisses it as a diagnosis. Gotcha. Best fight scenes ever for John Carpenter or Fringe? Fringe. I think this was in regards to Fringe. In terms of Reservation Dogs, yes, you must watch. It takes a little bit to get into, but once you do, it's so good. Train to Busan is a good movie. Not very scary, but a good story. Okay. That's a good one to know. At least on the big screen. Little screen is still Daredevil. Lupus is real. I don't doubt that. It just seems like it's an invisible disease, right? Yeah, and it takes so long to get diagnosed because you have to rule out so many things. And if you're still having, like the diagnosis process for lupus, I've looked into, is really wild. It's really crazy because you have to like keep going back to the doctor. And if you have a certain number of symptoms that vary and change over 6 months to a year, like they literally have a checklist and you have to like check off a certain number of them. Then they'll diagnose you, but it takes years to get to that point. What was so cool about Fringe was the extra secret messages in the intro. Oh, did not know that. So I'll have to check that out. Diamond says, I love both Sex and the City and Criminal Minds. Yes. The one-shot Daredevil fight. Ooh. From the movie or from the TV show? There was a secret code. Ooh. Fun. Me too with the Veronica Mars. Stacy says, for the Veronica Mars, do not watch the last 10 minutes of the 4th season. Okay, noted. You forgot about numbers. It was such a fun show. They used math to solve crime, and that was interesting. Yeah. It is interesting, but it's also probably a lot more true than we would think because a lot of it is like following the money and the numbers. So yeah. Train to Busan had you in tears. Oh no. You had to fill out a giant packet and you had to have a certain number of symptoms to get diagnosed with lupus. Yeah. And Jen says you don't get disability for it. Really? Is lupus not one that you can get disability for? I thought it was. Is it? That's okay. I did not know that. Fringe was also some of the last work that Leonard Nimoy did before he passed away. Becca agrees with Stacy about the last 10 minutes of the 4th season. Don't watch the last 10 minutes of Veronica Mars season 4. Has anyone seen Gossip Girl? It was your favorite show. I've seen parts of it. So Elizabeth says it is hard to diagnose. Your mom was diagnosed with lupus not very long ago after years of misdiagnoses. Yeah. Veronica says, as soon as they leave the courthouse, the season is over. Hands down. Gotcha. You can, if it's bad enough. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. Disability is so hard to get. That's why you work so much, because your husband was denied. That's frustrating. Yeah. Yeah. The reason there was never a season 5 of Veronica Mars was because of the backlash that they got from the last 10 minutes. Yeah, I think that was also true for like one of the old soap operas. And I don't remember what the name of it was, but like one of the old soap operas did an entire season, killed off one of the main characters. And there was such a backlash to it that they did an episode where the character wakes up, and that whole season or episode, or however many, like it was quite a few episodes, if I remember correctly, it had been a dream. A dream sequence. Nightmare. Because the public was not having it. Anyway, yeah. Okay. We've been here for 41 minutes and we need to do a sprint. So real quick, I'm just going to tell us the main message for main message. Sometime life stings. We have the wasp spirit today. So there's going to be a wasp on the screen in 3, 2, 1, wasp on the screen. Here's our wasp friend. Sometimes life stings. Wasp is no longer on the screen. And the screen is also no longer in focus. Cheers. Still not in focus. It's probably because I've changed where I was sitting. Anyway. Yes, Dallas. Who killed JR? Who killed Bobby? There's like a whole... Yeah. Anyway, sometimes negative things happen. We have to learn to adapt. We have to learn to let go of negativity, and we have to learn to move on. Or write them into a character and then kill them off in our story. That could also be a way of coping. So, again, our picture poll is currently up on the screen, but it is the wicker lounger on the left and the rocker on the right. Becca's laughing at my just write them into a character and kill them off. Yes. All right. I need to get my volumes all the way up. And I think we are ready to do the sprint. There we go. All right. So 1, save your document if you've already been working today. If not, now's a great time to pull up whatever you think you're going to work on. And 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How was that? I got 764 words that sprint. I did a bit of rereading. I also finished the basic setup of my weekly spread in my bullet journal. I've got to pick a theme for next month. In the next week, April showers brings May flowers. So maybe something flowery. I've got this is sort of like a side thought that I'm where to put it. I've got this from an artist, Bailey J, Canadian artist. So I've got that. I don't really have anything that especially goes with that. So I've got that. I've got a dark green, but I feel like this is more, I don't know. I feel like I could use this more for like a Christmas spread than anything else. And since I'm doing cherry blossoms this month, I don't really want to do cherry blossoms next month. I do also have my books and flowers stickers. So like random random books plus flowers. So I could do something with these. I've also got some of my like worlds and bottles situations. Some of them have some flowers. So I could just do stickers with flowers. So I don't know. We'll kind of put that off. I still have a whole bunch of the I also have a whole bunch of these ladies. Like the Alphonse Mucha style stickers. I have a whole bunch of these, so maybe that ought to be sort of like, I'll have to figure out how to do the structure of the layout where it is conducive to stickers, but still some sort of shapes that will be easy to draw and still functional. Anyway, so I did my Bujo, so check mark, that is finished. And I started working on my the next section of my story, which is good. So I'll take it. Progress. One of the things I wanted to get done is now done. See, Rachel got another chapter handled and responded to some emails and applied some more promotions and did a blog interview form. So it's a lot. So you're going to take a break now. You finally finished your part 2 of your fantasy narration. You know this is off topic, but have you guys seen Lost? Yes. Grey's Anatomy, parts of. How I Met Your Mother, parts of. Friend, most of. The Office, some of. And Scrubs, probably a few episodes. Smallville, yes. Friday Night Lights, no. The Wire, some of. Dexter, yes. Gilmore Girls, some of. Most of. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, yes. Also Charmed and Angel. You got 2 character bios done. Nice. Oh, I need to go back and find those recommendations. I said I was going to write them down and I forgot to. I will get them though. Becca says, started working on this week's homework. Excellent. Yay. Hopefully there's not as much reading and watching to do this week, because I know last time you didn't get to the actual like homework part until like Friday. Elizabeth says, I listened to a book and worked on my planners. Yay. Heather took a dog to take Doggo May out. Let's see. That's what got you into Vampire Diaries. Bitten, a discovery of witches. Ravenswood Wolfpack, Being Human, and Midnight Texas. I've seen Being Human. I've seen probably a couple episodes of Vampire Diaries. I have not seen A Discovery of Witches, but that's one of the ones that I kind of would like to see. I think, if I'm remembering the correct show. Heather says, I worked on my Substack. Nice, good. Jen worked on your nutrition class. Not as easy as you thought it would be. Oh, that would probably be very useful just in like everyday life. So, got any tips? Eliza says, cute stickers. Thank you. I got, I think, almost all of my stickers. I have so this is how bad or how good. I have a Dollar Tree silverware thing of stickers. I'm almost done with, I bought a purple pack and a blue pack of these like holographic moons. And there were 20 in each, so I got 40 total of the moon stickers. And I think I have 3, maybe 4 left of the blue ones. So that's all that's left of that. I've got a whole bunch of like star and skyscape rectangular stickers. I haven't used these as much as I thought I would. I've got a whole bunch of moon stickers still. These were packs of like either 50 or 100. I've got some of the books and flowers. I've got the Alphonse Mucha. I've got the Worlds in Bottles, which I've used about half of because I ordered 2 packs of these, 2 different ones. I've got these tarot card ones, tarot inspired ones. Also got most of that still. And I've got this bookish. It's more like Harry Potter-ish. Which they labeled it as bookish. But it is a combination of vintage, Harry Potter, bookish. It's kind of a weird, I don't know. It's like, it's a confused aesthetic sticker pack. That's what that is. But yes, that's all about, that's about all the stickers I have, which is far more than I should have. So I am on a no sticker buy until I use them. And some of my additional washing. Because I have a lot of that too. So, Diamond says The Magicians was also one of the originals. Salem, one of us is Lying. Rain, I think. Charmed, Lost Girl, The Order, Hemlock Grave, True Blood, Nancy Drew, Once Upon a Time. I've seen some of these, not all of them. We never paid for like HBO or anything. We always just had whatever like public TV stations were available. And some of the stuff it's like never, I was either reading a book or something else. So Becca says they just planted 2 rows of cherry blossom trees. Yay, in your new apartment complex. You can't wait till next year when they're bigger. It's your favorite tree. They are pretty. They're very pretty. So that'll be very, very nice. They're gorgeous. We have a lot of oak and pine trees in your neighborhood. We have a lot of pines because it's the South. We have a lot of oaks. We have a lot of sweet gum balls. Sweet gums? Yes. Some tulip poplars, things like that. We have a couple of persimmons in the neighborhood. So we get deer occasionally as well to come investigate the persimmons and wild plums and wild grapes and stuff. So, and we've got a wild pear tree in our yard as well. So, and they have little tiny pears on them. So I anticipate, I think the full moon is it tomorrow? Yes, full moon is tomorrow. So I anticipate probably some deer visits tomorrow over the next couple of days, really. One Tree Hill was also good. Switched to One Tree Hill. I had a friend of mine in high school was obsessed with One Tree Hill, and my mom worked for Delta for 35 plus years, and so she took me on spring break in college one time to London, and we went up to see the Greenwich Observatory. And on the way up there, there was a street sign that said One Tree Hill. So I took a picture of it and sent it to my friend. I was like, look. Anyway, so that was a random side thought. Switched at birth, the Carrie Diaries, the Fosters, and 90210, and the original Beverly Hills 90210. Your Husband Loves Lost. I originally liked Lost, but then it just kind of kept going without any answers. And so I just kind of was like, well, let me know when there's some answers and I'll come back to it. Anyway, I have a tiny attention span, so TV isn't good for that. Yeah. I hear that. Yes. Yes. Super scientific, but interesting. You're just going to bust out a lot of class. Okay, this is in terms of the nutrition class, but it's interesting. You're just trying to bust out a lot of classes at once to finish sooner. Gotcha. Elizabeth loved Being Human, the original BBC series, especially the end of season 1. Megan says, I thought about what I wanted to write and then took the dogs outside. Now to focus again. So many stickers. Yeah. Well, my pen collection is also kind of outrageous. I had told myself no more pens, no more markers. I'm good. And then I got suckered into a flare pen sale. So, it happens. You love doing tarot readings for fun on celebrities and other things for fun, but you're still learning some of the cards. Yeah, I think it's a very long process, and also depending on what deck you have and whether or not it is a traditional like Rider-Waite based deck, things like that. And also, I have too many decks. I know this because there are a couple that I just don't reach for anymore. But yeah, so I have my Shadowscapes, which is like the purple watercolor deck. That's the one I think I reach for the most often. And then second in line is either between this Lucid Dreamers, the sort of beige and gold, or the True Black. Eventually I want to get the Ephemer deck that is sort of like the sister deck for the True Black deck, which if y'all haven't seen them, have y'all seen it? Have you seen the Ephemer deck? If you look up True Black Tarot, .com, this is me convincing you you may need to spend more money. So the True Black deck, you save $30 and free US shipping when you get the black and white deck. Nice. Or bundle. Okay, so where is the Ephemer? No! I know you have it. Come on. Where are you? Here we go. Oh, they've gone up in price. Okay, so how do I make this bigger? Look how gorgeous. This is essentially, this is the sister deck to True Black. And it's gorgeous. It's very gorgeous. But this one is, I think, like the True Black in that it is, yes, so it is the hero's journey in place of the classic fool's journey for the major arcana. And I know they have multiple genders for the lovers card. So there are extra cards in the deck. Anyway, so there's that. So, you know, in case you were budgeting money for new tarot decks. But yeah. And then I also have purchased several oracle decks, and the one I like the most is the Spirit Animal Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. But you will find that some tarot decks like read better for you consistently. So, you know. Let's see. Diamond agrees with Elizabeth in terms of, I think, being human. Yes. Stace says, yes, I liked the BBC version of Being Human. Becca says, I loved both versions, but I know a lot of people didn't like the American version. I have the first season of Being Human, but I don't know if it's the American or the BBC version. I should probably figure it out. I think it's the BBC version. You loved your Spiral Tarot deck, but you also like your Good Omens deck. Yes. I also have the Steampunk deck, and I have, I think I still have the Celtic Dragons deck. And I have I want to say sort of like Viking runic deck. I don't like it as much. And I've also got one that's sort of, I'm pretty sure it's like AI art that I think I'm going to use for scrapbooking rather than for like actual reading. So you really want to get the Mean Girls Tarot? Yeah. Eliza Bell says, I don't like tarot cards, but I do like oracle cards. Yeah. And I think that sort of like depends on what fits what you like to do, how you read them, things like that. So yeah, but I have been very, very tempted. There's a Disney villains oracle deck, I think. It might be a tarot deck, but it had Ursula on the front, and I was very tempted. It's a tarot deck. Oh, there's different ones, or maybe there's different, maybe there's different covers. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think a lot of the Disney villains are really cool. Like design-wise, they're really cool. Anyway, in case you also want the Disney villain, here's the Disney villain deck. There's a lot of really pretty decks that I see online as well. I think the Lightseers is one of them as well. Yeah. Anyway, so let's. All right, I'm gonna stop chatting and get us back to work. Don't forget the. Is this really? Yeah, this is gonna be our second sprint. Second sprint, self-promo time. Don't forget the poll. Let me show it real quickly. The picture poll is for which writing chair would you choose? The wicker lounger on the left or the rocking chair on the right? That is that. We're just going to use the same timer. I'm just going to scroll it back. Doop. Okay. Alrighty, so don't forget to do your self-promo during the second sprint. Only the second sprint. My self-promo is, if you are not subscribed, please consider it. Other than that, make sure that if you have a YouTube channel, Twitch channel, Etsy store, Amazon author page, websites, blogs, social media handles, etc., if you have any of those that are writing adjacent, please let us know where we can find you and your work, especially if you have books out soon, books out recently, or books on sale. Let us know where we can find your books. That being said, 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip of whatever it is you're hydrating with. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How was that? Did we have a good sprint? I noticed a typo as soon as I looked back over. So, all right. How did I do that time? Did I get 1,000? I think I might have. Yes. Yay. Excellent. So I've gotten 2,000 total, or at least 2,000, a little over, which is great. How we doing? Did we do good? Megan says, my latest post is a poll, so please vote. I want to know what you want to read from me. So here is a poll, the post link for this poll, or you can check out everything that Megan does there on the link tree. Megan says, I got a chunk written of my discussion post. Excellent. Yay. Megan is still brainstorming and looking through the archives for ideas. Okay, let's see. Last time you typed in scandal, right? What happens if you type in feminist? Just out of curiosity. Heather says, if you need an editor for your work, you can reach out to Heather via DM on social medias to get started. Here is the link tree for Heather Dewey Patet. Diamond says, I got a good sprint. I was chilling, and this sprint and probably the next sprint as well. Ooh, Liza got 214 words. Yay! Yay, indeed. Excellent. Ooh. Megan is browsing through mysterious murder. Excellent. Where is... Okay, so hang on. Let me pull this book out. It's like kind of near the bottom of a stack, though. Maybe I can... Okay. So I have this book. It's been on my TBR for forever. It's kind of related to mysterious murder, but it's also kind of spies and stuff. Share screen. So it's a book called The Entity. It's by Eric Frattini. Again, I have not read this yet. I have the hardcover version, so maybe that'll... Nope, that does not look like mine. They must have changed the cover. Anyway, 5 Centuries of Secret Vatican Espionage. So, yeah. Secret spy service that actually existed that we know of. So this has been translated following the Spanish and French editions, but like the secret spy network has been involved in killing of monarchs, poisoning of diplomats, financing of South American dictators, war criminals, laundering mafia money, manipulating financial markets, provocation of bank failures, and therefore affecting the economy of whole entire countries. It's fascinating. But anyway, so I have this, and it's been on my TBR for like the longest time, but I haven't read it. So maybe that's going to be my next nonfiction. So there you go. Elizabeth took a break and got some coffee, brownie, and ice cream. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I made chocolate chip cookies, and I don't have any lactose-free ice cream, and I'm really kind of sad about it. But on the other hand, as a bonus, my mom found some lactose-free cottage cheese. Y'all, I am so happy because I have missed a good spoonful of cottage cheese for a really long time now. And I made the chocolate chip cookies without milk. So lactose free chocolate chips, margarine instead of butter, that kind of stuff. It's been nice. Anyway, lots of feminist stuff pops up when you search for just feminist. It's fascinating. Nice. Excellent. Good. You did 3 texting stories today. Wow. Yeah, you have done a lot, and you do deserve a break. This morning you had another writer who does sprints like you. Gotcha. Yes. Yeah, there are plenty of sprints around, which is very nice. That's one of the greatest things about authortube community. Heather walked the dog and cleaned the kitchen. Oh, that sounds nice. Yes. Still working on your next Substack and also listening to a session of Pro Writing Aids Fantasy Week. Oh, that's right. That was today or this week, really. Yes. Yes, yes. All right, let's do another sprint because we talked a whole lot today. So we need another sprint. So if you can stick around, great. Oh, I should show, I guess I should show the Wicker Lounger versus, if anybody has not seen it yet, Wicker Lounger versus Rocking Chair. Which would you prefer as your writing chair? That is your question. All right. Another sprinty sprint. Okay. Get this back up to where it should be. So 1, save your document. 2, take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine or roll your shoulders back. That posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4, make sure that if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, I have like a couple of sentences and I'm really close to finishing this section, so please pardon the typing sounds. Okay, we're good. We are good. That is the end of that section. Okay. Good. Okay. Fantastic. I'm up at 66,000 for the month, which means I'm averaging about 3K per day instead of 2K per day, which is fantastic, but it is mostly unedited, which means I have 66,000 words to edit. So, you know, there's good and bad to everything. Okay, so JK is here. Hello, hello, welcome. Diamond responded to JK's question of what everybody's working on today. You're just chilling the rest of the sprint. You got done with your fantasy texting story for today. Laura has a chapter and a half left on this draft. You've been working on it today since 5 a.m., which would be 8 a.m. my time. So 7, almost 8 hours. Nice. Thanks for giving the Amazon website link for the tarot cards. You're welcome. You had fun talking about the shows as well. Yes. Ooh. Okay, so Laura has the day off from babysitting. Nice, because your sister has the day off. Eliza Bell says 595 words, almost 600. It's amazing. That's awesome. So good. All right. Let me go ahead and end the poll for the pictures, which I think I closed, yeah. I actually still I have to schedule the ones for Wednesday and Friday, but so the wicker chair is the winner. There we go. The wicker lounger won 57%, and the rocking chair 42%. So this is a bit closer than some of the other polls that we have done. So yeah, they both look very comfortable, not gonna lie. They look very, very comfortable. Sorry. This draft is about 7,000 words longer than the last draft. Ooh, okay. And you're hoping to get it up to about 9,000 longer. So you need an additional 2,000-ish words, which, since you choose your words very carefully, that is a feat. You are very good about choosing exactly the right words, and specifically the ones you want to create the perfect crafted image, which is fantastic. I look forward to it. Let's see. All right. So save your document. Make sure that you have saved, sipped, stretched. And if you need a longer stretch break or snack break, make sure you're taking care of yourself as we're writing. I will see y'all on Wednesday. If I don't see you then, I will see you in the chats somewhere. So, all right. Thank you very much, and I will see y'all soon. Bye.